Hello and welcome. Today it gives me great pleasure to introduce two community leaders from the New England area, Sri Kanchan Banerjee and Srimati Haimanti Banerjee. Hemani ji hails from Dhanbad, Jharkhand. She has done her MSc from Banaras Hindu University in physics and an MS in computer science from Boston University. She is the director of the Boston Center of Excellence for Health and Human Development. She's a yoga teacher and she also works for the Boston's Children's Hospital and manages quality and safety related matters. Kanchanji has started and has been part of many Hindu and Indian American organizations in the US. He is the co founder and president of Global Indians for Bharat Vikas. He is the co founder of the Boston Center of Excellence for Health and Human Development and serves as its managing director. But most recently, I was fascinated to see that the two of them have worked to revive a very ancient tradition in Bengal, which is the Tribeni Sangam. Well, welcome to Lokvani and Namaste.
Namaste.
So,
Namaste, Ranjani ji.
Kanchanji and Haimanti tell me what was this interesting Tribeni Sangam that you actually revived? First of all, Kanchanji, what was the motivation to do that? Because I saw Modi ji talk about this event in his Man Ki Baat. So, Kanchanji, I hear you are the person who got an inspiration to do this. So, I would love to hear more about it from you.
Many people do not know that this Kumbh Mela, that is Anu Kumbh, it is called, used to happen in many parts of India. That that is not same as the main Kumbh Melas happen in Haridwar or Nashik and other places. This is a one-day Kumbh when, according to Jyotish, when the sun moves from uh, Makar Rashi to Kumbh Rashi. It is a one-day event. It's called Anu Kumbh. It used to happen in many parts of India. So in Bengal, this there is a place. It is a Triveni Sangam. It is also called Triveni Prayag, Prayag of South. It was to call in the past. There used to have this Kumbh Mela, and it was stopped around 1298. And I, while doing research on Bengal's history, I found out that this Kumbh Mela was stopped. So I felt like maybe we can restart the Kumbh to bring spiritual heritage back to Bengal. So Bengal gets blessings of the Devtas and Devis and Ma Ganga for Bengal's self-development and improvement. So 2 years ago, while traveling through that area, I had a vision that we should revive the tradition that was stopped 700 plus years ago. And we had a small team of people during a COVID period. We did a event, and more about 1 lakh people showed up. And we realized it's a great thing that people are responding. People would love to do this. So last year I could not join physically, but Haimanti actually went there, so she can share her experience,
Yeah.
what happened during that time.
Yeah, so Hemanti ji, what was it like to be, part of something where, it is a new event, but it's an ancient event. How did you feel about it?
I felt electrified actually. So when I was there, I did not know how to go about the whole thing, how it will go, because we did not have any experience
Yeah.
before it. And also emotionally, I was very kind of like, little bit down because Kanchan could not make it last year. So, but I was very much enthusiastic. Our team was like, only 8 people was working day and night in the team. And the whole event, I thought like, somebody else, some power, some supreme power is working through us. Otherwise, like due to COVID, we kept it in a very small scale. Not many sadhus came, like over 3,000 sadhus and came, but not like this year. But 55,000 people took bath. on the main like Kumbha Snan day. So it was amazing. The morning was started with the chanting of Aditya Hridayam mantra, invoking Surya, his blessings, and then Mahadev. We had the Kumbha Abhishekam, Mahadev Abhishekam,
Yeah.
and also the Yagna. So it all started with that. The whole Tribeni was kind of like vibrating with the chanting, with the mantra. All the sadhus were around, they were chanting, singing, the Nagas. So I was thinking, I was pinching myself and I was thinking, what's going on? And it was totally in a different level,
Yeah.
different consciousness, the consciousness that we talked, that Ramakrishna talked about, the Chetana. After that, Rabindranath Tagore talked about Chetana. So that Chetana was flowing through Tribeni in every nook and corner. All the people of Triveni they were like totally unbelievably excited.
Yeah.
And Ganga was flowing there over,
Yeah.
how many years, like thousands of thousands years. But that time we felt like Ma Ganga is like connecting with us.
Oh my
The
God.
consciousness, the super consciousness, like
Yeah.
flowing,
Oh my.
underlying consciousness was manifesting with advatmikata, the
Oh my God.
spirituality. So that was my
Just
experience.
listening to you, I really can see why these Kumbh Melas are so important. Because when people come together and chant like the Aditya Hridayam, which is supposed to remove all evils forever, you feel it while you are there, and I can hear it in your voice. And I just wanted to clarify that Tribeni is actually a town, right, in Bengal.
Yes,
It's not
yes,
the same as the Prayagraj where the Triveni Sangam is there. This is an actual town in
actual
Tribeni.
town.
In
Yeah,
Yes.
where three river confluence happens, like,
I see.
Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati.
I
Uh,
see. So
yeah,
Yamuna comes to
So
Tribeni also. That is
no,
that
no.
no,
So
no. Okay.
Jamuna and Saraswati, these are local rivers. Uh,
Oh, I see.
Saraswati and Yamuna. Saraswati River is almost dying. It's in a very bad shape. Jamuna almost dried up, little bit left. So, but it is a Triveni Sangam. It is called Triveni Sangam. So wherever Ma Ganga is associated with two other rivers, it's a Sangam where this Kumbh used to happen. So this Triveni is in the district of Hooghly in West Bengal,
Yeah.
and it is it used to be called the Prayag of South, in lines of the Prayagraj in Uttar
Uh,
Pradesh.
I see. I see. Fantastic. So, Kanchanji, what does it take to suddenly? I mean, Kumbh Mela has been organized forever, and I know how difficult and challenging it is. So, tell me a little bit about how did you go about just organizing something like that, which had in the first time, I think you said a lack of people came in COVID time, and I think this year, I think it was way more than that. But tell me a little bit about what it takes to, first of all, discover this. How did you find out about this tradition? And then how did you go about organizing it?
So, I have recently published my book called The Crash of a Civilization. During that research for last 10 years, I found out there is so many lost traditions and history is lost because of all reasons. Uh, the history that we read today about India is biased, and it is a lot of it is not true. And while doing the research, I found out that in West Bengal, which is part of undivided Bengal in the past, there are so many things. There are institutes, including the Sanskrit literature and other uh, different educational uh, uh, centers in throughout Bengal. And Triveni was one of the most important center. There are 300 plus schools of Sanskrit, learning Sanskrit and yoga and many different shastras. And during that period of invasion, around late 1300s and early late 1200s and 1300s, they were all destroyed. Even during British period, I found there are 30 schools of learning Sanskrit and Shastras, and then British people stopped those also. So when I found that out, I felt like this is a place where we can revive our ancient culture,
Yeah.
learning of Sanskrit, learning of yoga, learning of our Shastras. And there are very, very famous Shastrakars, Pandits lived in that area. And I felt that if we can somehow revive the Kumbh Mela, maybe the old tradition of Triveni, the entire tradition of Triveni
Yeah.
will come back. And that's what is happening after this year's Kumbh Mela, after the recognition of our honorable Prime Minister. There is a goal that we have set a goal that make Triveni a heritage, spiritual heritage city, and already things are in process to clean up the rivers there, Saraswati River, to make rebuild that, the ghats and so forth. So
Yeah.
already things are in progress to make the city a heritage city, and it is the outcome of this Kumbh Mela.
That is really, really fantastic. So, what was the team like? How many people were involved in making this happen?
So this time, this is we have formed an NGO called Triveni Kumbho Parichalana Samiti, and local municipality, which is Bansperia municipality. So jointly, we organize this event. Ministry of Culture also, Central Ministry of Culture also supported this project. And so we had a team of about 50 people and about 500 volunteers. We recruited, we trained locally, mostly
Yeah.
local people, and it was not an easy job. There was a point when we found the entire city was standstill. All the roads were standstill because of the crowd we had.
Yeah. Yeah.
And by grace of Bhagwan Mahadev, not a single incident happened. Nobody was injured. But the Shobha lasted for 3 hours, and then there's this Shahi Snan in the Saptarishi Ghat. All the sages, 400, 500 sages came, saints came from all over Bharat, from Hardwar to Kamakha, you name it, Naga Sannyasis. It was an amazing scene, although it was a huge, huge worry we had that so many people, almost 8.5 lakh people came in one day.
Yeah.
And somehow everything went well by the grace of
Wow.
our Ma Ganga and Mahadev.
Yeah.
So it was a good team of people, good teamwork, and the local municipality. They all cooperated. There are local organizations like
Yeah.
Satyasai Seva Sanstha and many other organizations like Loknan Mission, Ram Thakur, and all these organizations came together. And
Sure.
many of them provided seva, including food
Wow.
for bhandara, what they call
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
food for the punyatis and sadhus.
Wow. So, no, I mean, this is really, interesting to hear this because, I always, one think about this, right? We think of India as unorganized, but we actually organize the biggest events ever, whether it is the Kumbh Mela for not today, right? This has been going
Yes,
on from the beginning of
thousands and
time.
thousands. Yeah.
So we know how to organize. I mean, so it is really a myth that we don't, So I think this is a beautiful example, and you just revived something, and here it was all organized. I mean, this is start from scratch, and you can see. But I think you're exactly right. It is because of the grace of God that things just worked out. So God bless you for that. And I wanted to ask you, are there other traditions? I mean, this is very inspirational, and I'm sure during your research you must have found other traditions that are there other traditions of this nature that would be worth looking at again.
So one thing I must say, I have written in my book that India was at the peak of a civilization which was the most important in human history.
Right.
Part of the reason was we had institutes of excellence throughout Bharat, whether it's in Kashmir, Sharda Peeth, or Nalanda, or Vikramshila, or Takshashila. So with all of these institutes, there used to be many such events and traditions that used to happen, and eventually it was lost due to invasions
Yeah.
and foreign invasions and attacks. And I find that Bengal alone has at least 5 or 6 centers where we lost our traditions, that can be revived in different parts of India, even in Gujarat, even in southern part of Bharat, whether it's Kanchi or whether it's in Karnataka. There are many places we find that age-old traditions were stopped due to invasions
Right.
and due to attacks of foreign ideologies.
Yeah.
So we can have many such traditions revived in Bengal alone. For example, there's a tradition, the Vaishnava tradition, that was started by Mahaprabhu Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he has many events in throughout Bengal, and it's completely lost out of memory.
Yeah.
And we can bring those back for Bengal cultural revolution.
Yeah.
And similarly in Odisha, in other parts of Bharat, there are many traditions that were stopped during that period of invasion and occupation. And I'm sure that people will be inspired from this event in Bengal, this Kumbh Mela we did, and perhaps because of that, our Prime Minister has praised this, that
Yeah.
this is not it was not an easy thing to do, but it happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
It happened, and
Yeah.
I mean, if Haimanti has anything to add to
Yeah,
that.
I was going to say, being part of Kumbh, once. Have you been to other Kumbhs? And would you recommend that people come and attend it? And what message do you have for others who may be thinking about, attending such events, but might be a little nervous considering the scale of the event?
First of all, we have not attended any Kumbh before. So we started and we attended. So,
Yeah,
um, and we can imagine that the other Kumbhas where it happened, how big, how huge way they might have happened over there. But our message would be the young generation, young people, young generation from Bengal, definitely from India, but I would say like from Bengal. The people of Bengal, particularly the young people, they do not know the glory of Bengal, what they had 700 years back. They used to have this Kumbh, and because of so many reasons, it stopped, it
yeah,
ceased to happen. But when we did that, I was so surprised, Ranjini ji, that the young people came, like lakhs of people. They were all in that group, in that like age range, like between, I would say, like 10, 12 to 18, 20, 22,
fantastic.
and something like that.
Yeah,
And when we told them that what you should be proud of, and your heritage, your history, your tradition, and you should be really proud of the education, the standard of education Tribeni had at once, and also the business and trade. In these 3 days, Ranjini, I was so surprised to see that all the people the vendors, they were all laughing, dancing, selling their products. And after COVID, when everything got shut, after that, they have this smile on their face. That is the biggest thing we could achieve,
wow.
and the young generation, they came forward. We told them that we are from outside.
Yeah,
These are the 2 years that we have been doing. Maybe we can guide you guys another 2 years, but
yeah.
not more than that. So you have to take care of this thing. You have to take the responsibility, even raising the funds and everything, including everything. they
Correct.
were so excited.
Yeah.
They said that, yeah, we are going to join hands with you,
Yeah.
and they are very excited. College students, they were all full of college students and high
Yeah.
school students. That made me so happy, so
Yeah.
joyful that
Yeah,
I
I
cannot
think
express.
you brought two things very strongly. One is that the youth, got involved and felt proud of their heritage, and I think that is a important takeaway. And also the point that you made that the local, people who are working on local traditions, local handicrafts, and other things, that they got a chance to really, show their wear and
Yeah.
have business go for them. I know COVID was a very hard time for people, so what better way than to have such a joyful event where everybody is having a good time while supporting. It's not like we are just giving money to a cause, but we are really promoting businesses. And I think that is a very, very strong reason for us to attend these kinds of grand events. And it's obvious that it went well, it was organized well, so nothing to worry about. So I think this is really a special thing you have started. So Kanchanji, Haimanti thank you for having the courage, and to do something really inspirational. As I said, I'm feeling goosebumps just listening to you, Haimanti ji, about how you attended it. And thank you both for taking the time to talk to Lokvani, and look forward to the other traditions that you might think about, at least inspiring others. Who knows, you might have started your, Jot se Jot Jalate Chalo. So this might be the first lamp that has been lit, and hope that the next lamp will be coming soon.
A-
Thank
a-
you so much.
And Ranjani ji, thank you for
Thank
having us
you.
and invite you for the 2024 Kumbh Mela on February 13. It is fixed, and hopefully the some of our listeners will also come and join hands with us. And yes, we are working on 2, 3 more traditions to revive in Bengal, and that is to be published later.
So last month was my first time in Bengal for a long time, and oh my God, I fell in love. I mean, the food, the people, the culture. I cannot go on it, so I have to come. I really
Yes.
will mark it. I need to learn so much. I need to come. And for people who haven't been to Bengal, I see why it is such a special place that has given rise to so many wonderful people, including Kanchanji and Hemantiji. So thank you so much.
We are
Thank
fortunate to be
you.
born there. Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. And namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.